we'll have this available for anybody who wants to watch at a later time. Hey guys, welcome to our special 4th of July holiday Zoom. I know tomorrow is the 4th of July, and I know some of you are not even in the United States, so you're not celebrating your country's independence. But in honor of our country's independence, we want to talk about how we can just blow the top off of our month, right? We want to like rock and roll. And I'm assuming you guys are on this Zoom, this special Zoom tonight, because you really want to kick your business into high gear. Well, that's what we're going to talk about how to do. My name is Beth Gallardi, in case you have not met me yet. And I've got my incredible sponsor on with me as well, Carleeta Nelson. We're going to be chatting, and I'm going to share a few things first, and she's going to wrap this call up. I kind of want to have like a really good heart-to-heart with you guys. I would love for each of you to pretend like we are sitting down at a coffee shop right now. I don't know about you guys, but I like to read books like that. If you ever struggle with, really getting a lot out of a book, pretend like you're actually meeting with the author and you've scheduled a time to chat with the author. You've asked the author, you've told him, I need to grow my business, or her, I need to grow my business desperately, that my family needs this. And then they scheduled a time for you to meet with them. And guys, that's what reading a book is like. So pretend that when you read books, you do that. And so tonight, I would love for you guys to pretend that we are mano a mano, one-on-one at the local Starbucks. And you have just called me up and you have said, Beth, I just really need to kick my business into gear. Not only do I need it, my family needs it, we need it, and we need it like yesterday. So that's how I'm going to start this off. Guys, I am reading this, well, I'm almost done, like 5 pages from being done. This book, it's called Sell It Like Sirhan by Ryan Serhant, and it is awesome. I love it. And you know what he addresses in there, and I'm going to share this really quick, really fast, is he addresses several things, but he says that he has found that these 4 tenets of business are so important. It aligns directly with what we're doing. Guys, I could share with you guys all the incredible tips in the world, not that I'm incredible, but things that have worked for us, right? I could stay here and share all these amazing tips, but if these 4 things aren't like transfixed, if we don't have a why that makes us like get to work, if we don't have a why that even chokes us up, but if we really don't have a why that starts something in motion, it's kind of like you might as well like hop off the call, because I don't want you to be accountable for the things that we're going to share if it's not something you want to do. This is it right here. Do you guys see it? Sell It Like Sirhan. You get it on Amazon tomorrow. So these 4 tenets are, the first thing is you got to have a why. Oh my gosh, we talk about that all the time. He says, why do you want to do what you do? What is it that's driving you? The second thing, because I'm going to run through these to get to what we're going to talk about. The second thing is the work. What do you need to do every day to expand your business? Which this chunk right here, the second tenet, is what we'll be talking about the most tonight. And the third thing he says is your wall. What are you running from? He says, what is the wall standing in front of you? What is the obstacle? Guys, right now, like if we were sitting at Starbucks, we would address this issue. So I know you guys already know what it is. Like you already know what it is that you struggle with. You already know what it is that has kept you from putting activity on your calendar, getting those take-a-looks scheduled, and everything that we need to do to grow this business. So that's a key thing. You want to address that tonight. You want to sit down, write it down, text your sponsor, text your upline and say, this is my obstacle, and I want to work every day to overcome it. And the fourth thing he says is the win. What are you doing this for? Like his goal was to break the kind of idea of what people see in salespeople. His goal is to create this whole thing to make such a difference in the world and how we can help one another in the industry of sales. So what is your whole thing? I hear so many amazing stories from people about nonprofits they want to start, mission trips they want to fund, all these great big things, and they're amazing. But unfortunately, I don't see too many people accomplish that because they let the wall take them out. They let the obstacle take them out. You guys, I was sharing on a Getting Started call today, and she might even be on tonight, I don't know, but your whys have to be really legitimately written down, because in Arbonne, we don't have a boss, just in case you guys don't realize that. We don't. Like, I was an employee before I ever became an Arbonne consultant. The only jobs I ever had was me working for someone else. So all I knew was employee mindset. I didn't understand what it meant to be an entrepreneur. And as an entrepreneur, we have to drive ourselves, right? We have to be self-motivated. We have to make ourselves work. So that's why we look at our whys, and our whys have to be our boss. So I just want to challenge you guys with those things right now. Like, you know, tonight, spend some time evaluating what your obstacle is and reach out for help and how to make that happen. Because what I'm going to be talking about is, you know, how to get into some activity this month to create a major sizzle in your business. And so, but sometimes, like I said, if our why isn't strong enough, if that isn't there, then you'll still be staring at the wall wondering how you're going to get over it. And guys, I want you to get over it. I don't know if you guys remember this song. I don't remember if it was Sunday school or what it was, but it was all this, you know, that we hit our hands on our lap and we talk about going through a jungle. Oh, there's a wall, can't go through it, gotta go around it, gotta go over it. Has anybody heard that song before? So that's what we gotta do. We gotta figure a way to get over the wall. So let's start with that. So I want you guys to write down your goal. So if you're already, you know, an area manager or above, you know, what is your goal for September 1st? If you're a consultant or a district manager, I want you to write down area manager for September 1st. I'm just going to tell you guys what to write down for September 1st. And if you're, like I said, area manager above, I'm going to tell you that too, because you know what? Write down either halfway to region or regional qual or regional vice president. I don't know where your business is, so write those things down. But as a consultant in a district, you can go into qualification for area manager this month. So write down that goal on September 1st for area manager. The first thing we have to do after writing down that goal is we've got to come up with a list. Guys, I know in the social media world, we rely heavily on Instagram and Facebook for making our list. I want to challenge you guys to do something a little bit different. When I joined Arbonne, Carleeta said make a 100% contact list. And guess where that list came out of? My head. I also used an address book. My address book didn't have a whole lot, so the rest of it was my head. And but I came up with a huge list of people. Guys, who do you know out and about? What about your neighbors? What about your relatives? What about your siblings, the people you went to high school with, college with, church friends, co-workers? This list could go on and on and on. The barista that always helps you out and get your passion tea at Starbucks. The receptionist that you always spend time talking to at the doctor's office. The dentist, the doctor, the orthodontist, all of those. These are all contacts that should be going down on our 100% contact list. And what I have found is I talk with a lot of people and they've left all of that out because they're just looking at this. Well, chances are your doctor probably, maybe so, follows you on Instagram, but I doubt it. So unless you're good friends with them. So we're leaving out these resources. And guys, the other thing that we might be leaving out are the out and abouts. Do you guys know what I mean? I know Carleeta's got a great story she's going to tell you guys in a little bit. The out and abouts. The out and abouts are the people that I meet out and about. They're the ones that I end up chatting with because I'm doing something in my life. Like, those are become great business builders. I have so many people in my organization today that were met out and about, and they came into my business that way. It doesn't mean that in that initial conversation that they instantly joined Arbonne and jumped on board with me, but it does mean that we started a conversation. So guys, when you're out and about, I want you to have your big vision goggles on. I don't know if Legina Betts is on here, but she always has this training where she has the big funny glasses on. And those are vision goggles. When you have big vision goggles on, you see people everywhere. When we have, I'm scared, I don't know if this is gonna work for me, nobody wants to help me, nobody wants to book an event, nobody wants to do the business with me, your glasses are itty bitty tiny, and you can't see anything because you're like this, you know, looking around. So you don't see any of the people around you that God's gonna put in your path because the vision is too small. So out and about is huge. The other thing I want you to do with this list is I want you to make a list of people you know through people. Guys, we all have people in our life who don't want to have anything to do with Arbonne. I have them still in my life and it's been 15 and a half years. That's okay, but by golly, I know people through those people, and I know people through those people, and I know people through those people. How far have you gone out in the people that you know? We all know people through people. We just have to expand our reach. So have that list. I want you to also write down on a list existing consultants. So for some of you who are brand spanking new, you might not have anybody who we call like a wholesale consultant. For those of you who've been in the business for a little bit, you might have some wholesale consultants or people who said they wanted to build a business at one time, but now are just purchasing products. And you also want to have the list of all your consultants as well. And guys, there's the text message I'm going to talk about with what to send in just a minute. because you want to create urgency around the low-hanging fruit that Arbonne just gave us called $3,500 promote to district manager this month, right? That's low-hanging fruit. That's Arbonne serving up a gift to us on a platter and saying, go for it, take advantage of it, go see what you can do with it. So I want to help all of you with this gift go area and beyond, guys. Like seriously, like you could jump from, you know, 10,000 last month to region qual this month if you work this right. So this is the goal, is to create urgency around that. So when you're making your list, when you're thinking about who you're going to be sending a message out to, schedule a take a look, like let's address the consultants, like the ones who aren't building a business right now. My message to them sounds like this: oh my gosh, I had to reach out to you as quick as possible. I don't know if you saw the email yet from Arbonne, but this is what it says. Arbonne has decided to reduce qualifications for district manager this month. And I needed to get this message to you as quick as possible. I'm setting up take-a-looks over there. They don't know what a take-a-look is, so I'm setting up video chats over the next 2 days. And since 4th of July is tomorrow, you could say Friday and Saturday, but I'd schedule them tomorrow too, because most people don't do much in the morning. I'm scheduling video chats over the next 2 days, and I want to make sure I got to you. You're one of the first people I reach out to. Let me know if something has changed and you'd love to see how you could build a business and get started this month. And so that's what I would send to existing consultants, people on the fence, preferred clients. You know, you guys reach out to your best preferred clients. You know, I don't know if you ever thought about doing a business like this, but I would love to sit down and chat with you. We have a great discount going on getting to the first level of management and getting a pay raise. To people that you have already chatted with about the business, but maybe haven't heard back from, or maybe you feel like they ghosted you, say, hey, I needed to send this message to you right away. You're not gonna believe it, but Arbonne has a discount. And I know we chatted like 3 months ago about the business, but I would love to introduce it to you again, because now is the right time to get started. I'm setting up video chats over the next 2 days, and I want to get you scheduled right away. Let me know what time works best for you. So letting people know I'm setting up video chats right away, that's telling them that this is something that you are doing. I don't care if you haven't set your first one up. It says I'm setting up video chats over the next 48 hours. Creating urgency around that you're excited about building your business. I'm filling my calendar. So letting them know those things, you guys, and spending tonight and tomorrow morning binging Arbonne to send out all these messages. Now, if there are people out there that you know will pick up the phone when you call them, call. By all means, call, because it's always fun to get a person on the phone to have a conversation with. But our goal is to set up as many of these as possible. And like I said, you're going to say different things to different people based on conversations you have with them. So that's why we need our list, to kind of give ourselves little notes out to the right. And guys, just make sure you track how many and what you're sending, because what you track grows. It might feel like you sent out a bunch of invitations to take a look at the business, and then when you look back, oh my gosh, I did send 5, but I sent 5 in the month of June. We're going to need to send 5 at least a day to really create that sizzle and that momentum that we're looking for, because we're looking to find, guys, at least 3 who decide to jump on board with us and get started. So if you want to find 3 to go district, guys, it's going to take a lot more than, 5 or 10 people to invite. It's going to take a whole lot more. Back in the day, we kind of had like a system down, like 10 phone calls. When you had 10 conversations with 10 people, you usually got 2 yeses to either taking a look at the business or booking an event for us. But that was when we got 10 people to answer a call. Today, you can take 20 to 30 reach outs to equal that same 2 to 3 things being booked for us. So just know that it's a numbers game. It's not magic. So when you see other people booking things, it's not that they have fairy dust sprinkled on their head that woo, you now will have parties. It's that, no, they reached out to a whole lot more people. It's just math, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. The next thing I want to challenge us to do, guys, as we've written down our goal, we've got our list, we're creating urgency, talking about the $3,500 thing this month. And I want to challenge you guys to get creative. One of the things this guy, he's a realtor, okay? But one of the things he talks about is how creative he gets to get the deal done. Whether he's helping someone buy their dream home or he's helping someone sell, he gets crazy creative. He does what no other realtor is willing to do. and he finds a way to get in front of people. And I'm like, that's weird. Like Terry Wilson did a call on this last week. We talked about all the different fun things that we can do this month. Guys, who on your list is somebody you desperately want in their network? Like, go back and circle people on your list. You're like, I just want to get into her friend group. I just would love to meet his friends that he goes and works out with at the gym. Guys, what do they like to do? What is it, that person that you want in their network? What is something they like to do? Maybe they've said no to taking a look at the business, but let's help them say yes to booking an event. What's something they like? Are they a tennis group? Do they like to get together and play tennis? You know, that most people get to group in groups and play tennis, say, hey, this is a really fun way you could help me. I'm gonna show up right after you guys are done. I'm gonna bring some food. We'll sit out on the patio of the country club. I've done this before, that's why I'm saying country club. And it'll make it super simple and easy for you, and your friends are already there. Find something that they enjoy. If it's somebody that is like super big into charities, then say, you know what, in the month of July, this is called my Get Crazy Busy month, and I'm doing something special for each one of my hosts in the month of July because I know you are passionate about helping those kids over in Africa. I'm willing to donate my full commission to that cause if you would get together a group of people for me in the month of July. Find out what they love to do and create that for them. You know, I know a lot of you are like, what's a foot spa? You know, because that's something we hardly do anymore. But why not create a nice spa experience for people in the month of July? Like, find something. And you guys, I've never considered myself the most creative person in the world, but I love listening to what people say, and I pick up on things that they've done or they're in part of or involved in. So get crazy creative. Like, make it a fun night. Maybe they like to do karaoke and say, hey, let's do a fun karaoke Arbonne event. Maybe they like to do yoga and they're always wanting to get to friends with their yoga. Hey, let's do yoga and shakes, and we'll do it at your house, or we can meet at the gym. Find something. Think outside the box. And that, to me, like what he talks about in here, like when he tells a story of this one lady, he sold her house and he noticed she had this one closet full of ribbon and lace, and he's like, what the heck? She liked to make bows for little girls and sold them. She was a huge stockbroker, but she did that on the side. He could not find a house for her, nothing she liked. So he had this one apartment, and he decided to go and buy ribbons and lace, and he filled one of the 3 bedrooms up with ribbon and lace so that when the lady walked in that room, her eyes got really big, and she bought that house that day, bought that apartment because he helped her to see a vision of how it would work for her. That's just what we need to do, guys, is help people see a vision of what they can do. When we help people see how this fits into their life and how it will help their friends and family, and for those of you who are like not super into healthy living, this is when you can get uncomfortable and book some healthy living, healthy happy hours. This is a really fun idea I got from Sandy Ruizo on my team in Florida. Come up with one of the, like, your favorite healthy detox friendly meals that are on our program and say, I'm doing a special thing for June. I'm booking 6 of these events where I'm going to bring one of the healthy living meals to prepare, and then we're going to taste it and eat it and talk about the 30-day. Do you have any friends that would be all over that? It's a free dinner, guys, free dinner. Those, she books a ton of those. So that's another idea. We could call it a detox dinner, but it's just getting creative. And that's just maybe like if you haven't ventured out into doing a lot of physical activity, you guys, we're missing out on local people when we don't. The other thing you can do for non-local people, we're trying to get in front of new people, in front of them. If you haven't ever done a virtual event, if you haven't used Zoom for a virtual event or anything like that, one of the things that you can say, and this is what I do, if I'm booking something new, like anything that I've already given you, whenever you're talking to people, I'm trying something new, would you help me out? I'm trying something new by doing a virtual event, and you live in Colorado, I live in California, would you be willing to help me? I'm working really hard in the month of July to get my calendar full. Those are things that help us get those things going, you guys. And the other thing I wanted to say is get creative in helping your team come up with some fun ideas and getting in front of people about the business. Whitney Haynes on my team is doing with her team a giveaway, and they filled the bag up with a bunch of Arbonne products and basically posted about it. And people, they said if you set up a take a look and sit down and talk to this person about the business, you get 5 entries for this giveaway. And it doesn't have to be something like that. It could be something different. It could be a box of fizz. It could be a movie night out. It could be something, but you could do something with your team and say, okay, whoever, anytime somebody's entered, they get 5 entries, and you have like till the end of July before that's going to happen. And they have to sit and take a look and listen to about the business. Well, since they started that, they have like a ton of people joining their business. But that's just being creative. It's just creating a fun new way for someone to come in and listen where they might not before, right? It could be that you and your team are going to give $100 in free Arbonne products away this month in a raffle. And everybody who gets into that raffle are people who sat down to listen about the business. And it can create a nice stir in your business, you guys, to encourage that. Everybody likes something for free, right? But that's another idea for getting people, just being creative and fun and having fun ideas around it. Guys, it's the same thing we could do with Discovers. Host the Discover Arbonne at your house and call it Drinks and Dreams. Do Friday Fizz. There's so many things that we can do to invite people to sit down and listen and take a look at the business. And of course, we have video chat and everything else. I'm just throwing out some creative ideas to help get that momentum going. And the last thing, you guys, I want to say before I turn it over to Carleeta is just consistency. I will tell you, last night we had a new area manager share at our meeting, Alyssa Moran, and she shared one of her top tips was being consistent. She said, I do something every single day for my business, whether I feel like it or not. I listen to trainings every single day, and she reads, and she learned very well from her sponsor, Cassidy Goulardi, because she does the same thing. And people always wonder, what in the world, what are people doing to grow? And it's consistency. It's just deciding to say yes to Arbonne on a daily basis. And I promise, guys, if you decide to say to your whys, to your Arbonne business every day, starting from today till the end of this summer, you're going to be blown away by where your business is. But I'm gonna invite Carleeta to come over because she's going to talk about how we can have 30 conversations by the end of the month, right, Carleeta? Oh, you're muted. Let me unmute you. Okay, go ahead.
Thanks. I was gonna say, we can have 30 conversations about our business, you guys, in 30 days, and it's not as overwhelming as it may seem. And what I want people to do is everything that Beth just shared, those are tips and a roadmap how you're going to do that, how you're going to have conversations with people about your business. But it has to be that you, a couple of things. I sent out some videos. I don't know if any of the other, if Tammy and other people that are on this call had done it. But if you want these videos and you haven't seen them, I'll send them to you or get them to your leaders and then they can share them. But there were 3 videos that I shared from Eric Worre this past weekend with my team. And I just said, you guys, these are so powerful because one of them, he said, are you tired of feeling like you're bothering people when you're offering them this business? And that, you guys, is no matter how many tips, every one of those that Beth gave us, every one of them will absolutely work and would help you have more than 30 conversations this month about your business to people, but not if your head is saying, I'm bothering people. And he talks in there about it needs to become and feel like it needs to be a conviction that this is an obligation for you to share this with your world. Like the second that flips in your head, when you get the mindset to have Arbonne be an obligation for you to share it, that's whenever 30 conversations will not feel overwhelming. It'll be like, well, I'll have more than that, because it's like I built my business in a 3-foot rule. And I still do to this day, 16 plus years later. And I'll tell you the story in a second that Beth was talking about. But you guys, it's an obligation. Like, I want you to ask yourself, do you feel obligated? Because what I see whenever I do coaching calls or just watch people build their businesses is I see them taking way too long to make your ask. We're building relationship. Do you know how many people and relationships you miss out on because you're so busy building one, you never get the opportunity to invite them to have one with you? Out and about, you can have conversations with people all day, every day, just doing life and having a blast. Tomorrow's 4th of July. Tomorrow, you're going to probably be around a lot of people. And everybody's going to be really excited about that one day off this week. But let me tell you, because I'm from that world, they're going to be saying, I love 4th of July, but I hate that it's always in the middle of the week. It's not like a Memorial Day or a Labor Day holiday where you get a 3-day weekend. 4th of July is awkward. I mean, you get off on Thursday, but you go back to work on Friday. And nobody's going to feel like going back to work on Friday. So you know what you have an opportunity to do and an obligation? Let them know that you have an opportunity where they would not have to worry about what day 4th of July fell on, because every day's Friday for Arbonne people. Every day's Friday. So those are things, you guys, that you have to be able to think about and run with in your head, instead of thinking I'm bothering people. And you need to more have the mindset of it's my obligation to let people know what I know. If you don't feel that, and it's not in your soul, and it's not just automatic for you, that's where your obstacle is. That's where you need to work. It's not Arbonne, it's not the products, it's not the business, and it's not even you. That's when people go, yeah, I believe in everything but me. That's not a problem. That you're not the problem. It's a problem you have. You can fix this problem. It's fixable. We just have to be willing to go out there and start doing it and push past our comfort zone to do it. You guys, I was telling the story. I'll give you an example of feeling an obligation. Lindsay was shopping for some maternity clothes because she needed to get something that's not regular clothes right now. We went to this cute little maternity store in Oklahoma. We had Brooks with us, my grandson, her baby. And so I was playing with him and distracting him while she was shopping and trying on her clothes and everything. And there was these 2 little girls that were 7 and 3 also playing in this little foam block pit. And their mommy was pregnant with a little boy. And I told them their life was about to change, but that she was shopping for her clothes. And these 3 kids were playing together. I had the time of my life just, watching them play. But the mom came over, and she totally could have been done and gone, but she came and stood beside me because I'd been playing and having fun with her kids and had this conversation. And so I got to ask her, well, what do you do? And she said, oh, I'm a nurse, and I went to school to be a nurse. I said, oh, I'm a nurse too. But I said, and she goes, but I didn't work. She said, I started having babies, and now I just stay home with my babies. And I said, well, don't go back to work after they get big, because that's when they're going to need you most. And we just had this conversation. But at the end of the thing, she's going to homeschool her kids. She has this degree. She stays home with her kids. She's a nurse, so I know what nurses like to do. They like to help and serve. And so, you guys, I just said, you ought to look at what I do. And I led with the business, you guys. I didn't say, oh, you're pregnant, you're going to want to have more energy. I didn't say you need the products. I led with the business and said, you should do what I do. You should do Arbonne. You have a nursing degree, and even though you may not use it, I use it because I teach health every day. I teach people how to get healthy with what it is I do. And she goes, oh, I don't sell stuff. I had a neighbor who, sells this product, Scentsy, different little things. I said, you know what? I said, I know that that's what it looks like, but this is different than all of those, because this is health and wellness. This is just helping people. I just had a conversation, you guys. Do you see? I mean, I wasn't afraid. I had maybe, truly with her, maybe 5 minutes to build that relationship that point blank, I asked her, you should do what I do. She told me no at the end of it, you guys. She just said she didn't want to, and that was the end of it. And she didn't want to do it. She wouldn't even. I said, would you hear it? I did all the right stuff, I promise you. But she said, no, that doesn't matter. What matters is I had the conversation. That's what I'm talking about. That's a conversation in 30 days. So I felt obligated. This girl needs Arbonne. I mean, my gosh, I can't imagine being a stay-at-home mom and that's all you do and not having adult conversation. This is a perfect blend for being a stay-at-home mom and doing that and this at the same time. I felt obligated to offer it to her. She told me, no, it didn't matter. 3-foot rule. Ask faster, you guys, and you can get 30 ask in 30 days. You'll blow past 30 ask in 30 days. We have, a special right now, 3,500. We have on our sheet, help 8, find 2. Sell 8 ASVPs, find 2 new business builders, you guys. This month, help 10, and you'll hit 3,500 and go district this month. find 2 people that you want to do that, because you can tell them this is the best time to start their business for multiple reasons that we won't go into right now, because Arbonne's given us so much to talk about. But help them help their 10 find 2, and you got 2 people doing 3,500, that's 7,000, and you do your 3,500, that's 10,500. You're doing area manager qualification. Your business is in momentum. Their businesses are in momentum. And what we did was we sold 10 ASVPs. Who do you know that needs to get healthy? And out of those 10 ASVPs, lead with the business and either let them start with the products and then come back to the business, or start with the business and start moving and putting the business and the other products out there themselves with you. That's what we have to do, you guys. And this is the time to do it. No one is bothering anybody. Back to Eric Worre's thing. If you think you're bothering people, you guys, this is where people, I mean, we've said it over and over again. You've got to believe it. Martha talked to me for 3 years. It's no different than people today saying, I reached out 14 times before people said yes, but now they're a national vice president in my business. When I talk to people, inevitably on coaching calls, it's people that you've talked to 2 or 3 times, or maybe you talked to them 2 or 3 times, they said yes, now they aren't, and you haven't asked again because they're ghosting you since you asked that last time. That's still 4 or 5 times maybe. We're saying 7 to 14 times. This Arbonne gives us reasons to call and do that reach out like Beth just gave you the example of. So the other thing I want you to do is I want you to just pay attention to your head. Anything that holds you back, I want you to write it down, and I want you to bring it to your consultant, upline, VP, and tell them, whenever I went to go do what Beth and Carleeta were talking about the other night, this is what my head did to me. And I want you to help me get through it. What book do I need to be reading? Are you on book club? Because my passion, my core belief, my conviction is that you can read books all day long by yourself, but if you've got head trash, you butt yourself through those books. And I will tell you, where Beth is saying that book is great, it is a great book, I promise you. But it's from a guy who's great at selling real estate. When you plug into book club calls, you're listening to me most of the time, not always, sometimes, but most of the time. And I am somebody who's reading a book, who's not going to let you butt yourself. And I have been successful, and I am successful building an Arbonne business, which is exactly what you're here to build. You're not going to get any better training than that call. If you've got head trash, and I know you all do, or you would be MVPs in this company, you better make sure you're either on those calls live, or you are listening to the recording like you are, reading whatever else it is that you are truly faithful to reading on a daily basis or a weekly basis, because that is how important it is for you to fix your head so that you get convicted and you feel the obligation and you don't care what anybody thinks about you, because you're more worried about getting this mission and this vision and this gift out there to the world. Because what we do, you guys, is we put troops on the ground. Everybody has a mission. My mission, I have lots of things that my heart aches for and that I love and that I donate to, I give time to, all of those things. But I will tell you, my big mission that I feel called and convicted to do is to get rid of people's head trash, develop and grow them so that they can be a massive army out there on the ground, going headlong into whatever mission it is that is driving their heart. That's what we do in this business. You may have a mission that you are passionate about too, a foreign country, an organization, a foundation, whatever it is. Everybody has their own thing. But can I tell you that in addition to that, what you do in this business is you put troops on the ground for all other organizations and missions. This is bigger than any of us. And it's going to change the world in multiple ways. And you are a part of that. But I will also tell you, we need you in order for it to do all that it can do. It's going to take every one of us. So this month is the month that I hope that you just declare your independence from negative thinking go out there and give freedom away to the world, because your heart is so excited that you have the gift and opportunity to live free with this country, as well as this business within this country, and go give and have the obligation to give that away to the world without being ashamed, afraid, embarrassed, and all the rest. So 3-foot rule, 30 conversations, you guys, about your business while you're doing any of those things that Beth Gallardi just shared with you, because she gave you a ton. Anything else, Beth?
Hey, along the lines of what Carleeta said, I just want to say, guys, people will, like she shared, don't be worried about, what they say or what they think. People will unfollow you. So you're going to have people that will unfollow you because they're going to be like, oh gosh, she's doing one of those things. People will criticize you. All of that is part of what we do. And I don't say that to not scare you off. I say that because it's just what we go through. And I think that a lot of folks, like Carleeta shared, are really scared to get uncomfortable like that. We literally live our life by what other people's opinions are. And that was one thing I had to get over really hard and fast when I started Arbonne. And because I did not have any moral support from my extended family and close friends. So you just have to know that those things are going to happen, especially in our social media world when followers are everything to folks, that there will be a few people that drop off, but that's okay, because you're going to gain so many more. Because when you gain Arbonne as a family, you gain a lot, and it's so much better. So does anybody have any questions? Any questions, concerns, comments you'd like to add, things that help for you? I know we're past 7 o'clock, but if anybody has any questions.
Hey, Beth.
Yeah.
This isn't really a question, but it's just something that actually Katie Harmon came up with this idea, and I'm like, oh, that's genius. But it's basically, after the holidays, I mean, I don't know how many of you guys have already been to barbecues, but sometimes you eat stuff that you just feel sick afterwards. And there's so many people right now that are already feeling like garbage because they've been on the go with summer crazies. And sometimes with the busy of summer, you grab things that, aren't, and that, especially people who don't know about Arbonne 30 days. And so she had mentioned doing like I can't remember, like detox the holidays or something like that. Like, have you been to like 5 barbecues too, and you're like ready to like get yourself healthy now? So just doing like a virtual event for yourself where you just share like the 30 days to healthy living. We used to do those all the time, like right before we would start our next group. And so like just like a simple overview of 30 days to healthy living and letting everyone know that, our next group starts on such and such date. So, just being mindful and inviting people through your stories or through whatever people maybe you've talked to before, or people that you're with during the holidays, inviting them to be a part of your healthy happy hour that you're going to do virtually.
Yeah, that was really fun with a crazy selfie to post.
Yeah, I was going to see if I could find regaining your health after the holidays is what she put down as the title of it, and it had like fireworks going off in the background of it.
That's awesome. Love it. Thank you.
Like on Sunday night or something, because I'm sure people are going to be like partying all weekend long, and just you can throw a virtual together at 8:30 at night or 8 o'clock at night on the Sunday night or Monday night.
Totally. That's awesome. That's
and anyone who's already done the 30 days, like reach out to them and say, hey, I'm doing this virtual 30 days to healthy living overview. Or if you have your VP doing one and you want to plug into one that your VP is already doing, you can just say, hey, my VP is doing this thing. It's the 30 days. I would love for you to hop on. It's on Facebook Live, and it's just an overview of it. And so who knows, get some great sales from it. And
no, I agree.
Clients.
Because guys, we are building towards the 15th. We've already started our 30-day group this week. So we're building towards the 15th. I mean, my suggestion is that you go for hitting your 3,500 by the 15th. That is getting you plus 10 on the 30-day or 11 others. And then with looking for those other 2 people, they're going to go district. I mean, so if you go for that one by the 15th, and then you have those other people that are filing into that as well. Thank you, Sherry. That was awesome.
Yeah, I'll post the invite that she put together, just like a little red stamp It's not
That'd be
risky.
awesome.
A little invite so people can see the idea.
Thank you. Anybody else have any
I was going to say
ideas?
thanks too for the call. It was really good, and I'm glad we still did a call tonight. Thanks, Carleeta.
You're welcome. For diehards.
Anybody else, you guys? I heard myself echo.
Have a happy 4th, you guys. Have fun and listen to those people that are complaining about having a Thursday off in the middle of the week.
Right. I know, I keep thinking of Debbie Neal. I know it was a Memorial Day weekend barbecue that somebody told her about Arbonne. So imagine all the people that we're going to be with tomorrow. It is lots and lots of opportunity to share the business with. So we love you guys. Thanks for jumping on with us tonight.
Bye. Thanks, Beth, for doing this.
Thank you.